Welcome to episode number 1 of Targeted to Transcendant, the Black Sheep Experiment. Today we're going to talk about the dynamic of the empath narcissist, the experience you had with everyone being disloyal, turning their back on you, etc., etc., the balance of the light and the dark integration, and the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within the vessel. We're also going to cover a little bit of the energy updates and everything like that. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Love you so much. You finally making a stand and you finally loving yourself enough to get up off the floor and push back in a huge collective is making a wave, and we're irritating everybody by standing in the truth and not faltering and not letting ourselves succumb to this for real. Just standing and standing in this and taking it and showing that you have a will to live and you have a will to love and you have a will to fight is not something that anyone was prepared for. Seriously. The damage that they caused us was enough to take out an army. Literally, the individual damage they caused each of us would have took out 10, 15, 20 people at once. Okay? And we're still standing here, and we're not only are we still standing, but we're still talking, we're still pushing, we're still fighting. These people are losing their mind, so be prepared for chaos, be prepared for last-minute setups, watch your back, use discernment, because these people are not happy, and they will go to many, many lengths to make this go away. Okay, so some of you that are dealing with larger groups, really watch your back, because now is a time of vengeance. Yeah, they created this, they did this, and now they're vengeful at you. And when people get vengeful, when people get triggered, when people get irritated, especially people that are unhealed, they tend to do things that are a little bit crazy. So watch your back, keep your keep your space clear, get away from people, okay? Because things are about to get wild, and this whole thing is flipping on its head, and it's been flipping on its head all of March, and now we're in April. March did its job. March kicked butt. A lot of light came to March. A lot of things were exposed, and anytime these people tried to step to you, they ended up setting themselves up and looking stupid as hell. Keep letting them set themselves up. Give them no play. And keep exposing. Keep exposing. Because this is our way out. No one wants to hear us. We don't have the system on our side. They use the system to suppress and silence us. So it's our voices that are going to make a change. It's our voices that are going to make a difference. If we can't campaign and do all the things together in real life, we keep pushing this way and we keep moving this way. But waves are being made, and I'm so proud of every single one of you that has gotten up and fought back. You're a warrior, and we are going to save so many lives. So many kids are going to be saved because of this. So many innocent other targeted victims. We're going to collapse this thing on its head. Just watch. And also, right now, there are so many things moving behind the scenes that you can't see on both sides. So, the divine and your attackers. So, a lot of you have been speaking up lately. A lot of you have been dropping names lately. A lot of you have been pushing back lately. When you started to do that, a lot of people got mad, and a lot of people started to get their feathers ruffled, because they're in a state of exposure and humiliation. So just like it was when you had to go through your humiliation ritual and basically get dehumanized, and you were forced to feel as if you didn't even have a chance to be human. That's how bad it was. That was a padiddle. They're in those stages of humiliation, and they cannot handle it. And you're not doing anything besides trying to save your own self. In order to save yourself and get out of these pickles that they created, you have to unravel the pickle that they created. And yes, it sucks because they created it, and all of the pressure is on you. All of it is on you. It was built around you to damage you, to literally end your existence, to take you out of here. All of that, or put you in a freaking mental institution where you just stay forever as someone who's just too broken for society, or you snapped and you got arrested for defending yourself or something and end up behind bars for the rest of your life. It was all of that, but your existence wasn't supposed to be here. So they are literally furious. Yes, the people who set you up are furious that you're not gone and that you're still talking. It's literally boiling their blood. You have so many people got involved in this. You have two couples, couples that are around your age that are literally obsessed, probably ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends and their partners, but they're literally stalking you, where they're literally going in different rooms of the house to check your updates, and you got the guy on your like digging through everything to like see every single video of you everywhere, getting up on your private like story somehow under fake names, and then you got like their wife or their girlfriend literally on all of your stuff. You've blocked countless accounts, and they just continue to come back. And then also they're able to view things that are just on your mutuals, like your friends. So go through your mutuals and double check your mutuals, because when you're posting private things and it's getting infiltrated, that means somebody in your private list is one of them. I'm just telling you, these people are weirdly obsessed. Like the guys are obsessed with you, like if you're a woman, and like the girls are obsessed with you if you're a man, and then their partners are literally becoming obsessed with you in like weird ways too. Like for one, jealousy, envy, and like feeling like intimidated, which makes no sense because you literally want nothing to do with these slime bags, you know what I mean? But yeah, you have like couples infatuated with you, going into different rooms to watch you and stuff, hiding that they're watching you from each other, getting in fights about you. And then you have your most recent ex literally spinning in a million bajillion circles, losing their freaking mind, literally like embodying your character on dating apps to get anybody to give them attention, and sitting there like on these these dating profiles with information and stuff that looks nothing like their life is, and literally victimizing themselves from the situation that you guys have, which is insane. And that particular ex is suffering so greatly, so like they are able to victimize themselves really well. Like they have medical things and like addictions and different things that are coming up that are like really making them victimized right now. So you know what I mean? And then you're still like rising and all that, but they were the ones that did all of the damage. Like you did literally nothing to this person, nothing to these people. Like you were good to every single one of these humans, and you stayed longer than you should have with each of these humans for different reasons. Be it you had a child together, be it you were married to this person, you know, be it you were trying to get this person to like get their shit together, or whatever it was. But this one that is like literally spinning in circles, for the women collective, this is somebody who like was very much involved in your children's life, but not their dad. So this is someone who wanted to step in and take it, and they literally hurt you so bad and hurt your kids so bad it was like disgusting. And then you also have like exes from the past. You got exes going back like 12, 13, 14, 15 years involved in your targeting that couldn't like wait to jump in on the smear campaign and harm you and like get back into a life where it was okay to justify their obsession over you. Seriously. I mean, the way that these people like are on your posts, like they literally know what you're posting within minutes. They're also reporting all of your posts. They are literally obsessed with you. It's like disgusting. And then not only do you have these couples and then this one single ex, you have these like elderly women. And it seems to be elderly women on all sides, even the man side and the woman side. So divine masculine and divine feminine. You have like these three elderly women that are like 50 plus that are highly obsessed with you too and involved in your targeting in some way. One of them is the ringleader who literally orchestrated this whole thing. The other ones are flying monkeys that this ringleader brought in and brought down with them. And these women are all like starting to turn on each other and starting to see the bigger picture and starting to see that they got used and that they did vile, awful things to an innocent person. It doesn't negate the fact that they did vile, awful things, but to them, in their eyes, they were convinced that you deserved it because of this ringleader, like, pounding this knowledge into everyone's head. So these ladies could be connected to you through your children, your exes, could be in-laws, could be your kids, like, grandparents, like your baby dad's mother, something like that. And they are literally just as obsessed with you as these couples and your ex. Now, on top of that, you have attention from everybody in your family. So you're being watched by family you haven't literally seen in, like, 15 years. You have people, like, all over your stuff. You're literally starting to inspire people in the family. And everybody is starting to see, like, what is really going on here. When you've never had a chance to tell your side of the story in any situation for any reason whatsoever freaking ever. So like there's been stories that have been twisted about you that are going back to like the beginning of time that they also use to like twist and conspire these stories around. Like I'm talking stories these people started to create between them like for over like the last 12 years. You're also uncovering a lot of very bizarre relationship standpoints with these people that are involved that just don't make sense. Like your mom and your exes and like, you know what I mean? Just very bizarre connections, very bizarre relationships that when you were involved with these people didn't exist. So like, or at least exist where they were obvious. And also finding out just more details about like money moving around like behind your back in the name of like you or like your kids or something, people collecting on you in different ways, different pages that were made under your name. Everything is coming to light. And when what the Most High is telling you to do right now is to go after the weak spot. The weak spot is where they came after you. That's the weak spot. You dismantle that very beginning part and watch the rest crumble around it. So yes, you do need to expose this particular group. If that's how this whole thing collapses, you have to go after the particular group who came after you and dismantle the lies and allow nothing but the truth to stand there. And the reason why this is such a big test is because these are people that you love. These are people that you love. This is going to be some of the hardest narcissistic breaks and ties that you're ever going to make when you completely start to stand up and push back against them, because that breaks the tie for life. There's no going back from this. So you have to be fully ready to completely detach from your family and completely detach from this entire existence and this entire life, because the pushback's going to be real, and the pushback's going to expose so much darkness. Just remember, you are light, baby. Everywhere that you go, you expose what has been left and cast it into the shadow. So everywhere that you walk, you are shining a light on everything that needs to be exposed, and there's so much built around your life that needs to be exposed, and that's what the Most High is asking you to do. That's the mission at hand here. Go after the weak spots. Go after the weak points. So wherever they felt, everything's a reflection of you. Everything comes back to you. So wherever they felt that your weak spot was, that's actually their weak spot. Go there, okay? This is how this whole thing dismantles. Enough people get enough pushback from the small groups who attacked you that it starts to dismantle the larger portion of these situations. A lot of what is going on in the world too, like with the balance of the darkness and light, why there's so many like empath and narcissist dynamics, because they represent the darkness and the light within the collective. And like a lot of the reasons why we came up against a literal pack of narcissists is because light outshines darkness by a long shot. That's why like one vessel is able to like stand against like 20, 30, 40 other vessels, because they're living off like illusions, and their illusions are very easily cracked and broken, especially by you when you represent the truth, and like your whole essence exposes like all illusions just by you existing. But a lot of what we were experiencing is the empath collective was way too light, way too like bypassing things for understanding or empathy, and like letting basically people like walk all over them and get used in you know, every kind of way. Also like people pleasing, validation seeking, because a lot of those empath and those light workers were black sheep, and they experienced like lack of love in life, and they in turn used that to push out love and further like raise the frequency on the planet, instead of turning that darkness into more darkness, which happens a lot more often than it happens where it turns into light. So the light workers, the empaths, all of those types of people on the planet had a serious coming into balance to obtain within their own vessels, and that was balancing out their own light and their own dark, because they had too much light. They were overpowered with light. So like those evil feelings that you're feeling and you're like, wait, is this wrong? It's not. It's your dark and your light coming into balance. It's your putting your foot down for what you deserve, and it's this type of self-love that you've always needed. And until people did the most vile things, you weren't going to stand against them. They had to do the worst for you to actually like be like, okay, this is not okay. You know what I mean? Before that, you would have literally let them bypass all of their abusive behaviors. You would have gave them every excuse in the book to justify their abusive behaviors, and that's just the way that it would have went. So part of it was the light workers and the empaths of the world, of the collective, was coming into balance with their darkness and balancing out that darkness within the vessel so they can stand against the darkness. They had to embody the darkness to be able to stand against the darkness. So that task has been complete, and that's why a lot of you are feeling like empowered, but like almost in a darkened way. It's not like that at all. You know what I mean? And then the empaths had a job to bring the darkness, meet the darkness with some light, and show the darkness light, and show the darkness what light looks like and how light exists in this world. So that is why they all had to come up against one of the most like sweetest souls ever, like someone who's truly just wants love and like pushes out love and doesn't bother people or anything like that. They had to come against like the nicest person so they could see how dark and gross their soul is, so they can start to learn to change and grow and merge light and darkness together. I'm not saying that they're all going to. A lot of them are going to succumb to their darkness, but you gave many vessels a chance to come into balance with self, and what they do with that is their own choice. But that is a lot of like the other forms of balance, balancing out the light workers and bringing some darkness into their life so they can integrate their darkness in their light, and vice versa with the darkness. Everything truly is always working in unison. The darkness is always moving in your favor to rise you, to bring you to your highest heights. when you get to a place in your ascension where you can like truly see and feel this and know that the darkness is moving for you, you can start to like accept it and more or less integrate those things into your daily life so you can actually learn the lesson behind all of this chaos. But you had to toughen up. You had to toughen up. You were too nice, you were too sweet, you were too kind, and you were literally getting walked all over from the beginning of time on. It was time to put your foot down, and it was time to man up. And that's another part of what's happening here. That's also why it feels so weird and like, you know what I mean? You're integrating your divine masculine, you're integrating your divine feminine, you're integrating the darkness, the light. You're coming into full balance of self, and it's a lot at once. Also, the energy right now is going to feel chaotic for about the next week. So, especially for your attackers are going to feel extremely chaotic. So, watch your back. You never know what they're capable of when they're in those states, but they're about to experience that push that those feelings that you had to experience, they're about to experience as well, because everything goes full circle. What they created for you was actually created for them, and they're starting to see that. The world got so out of balance from the ruling and like the way that things just fell into place here, and that's part of our purpose here, is to bring things back into balance. The world was ruled by the broken masculine, by the imbalanced masculine. What's happening is the divine feminine had to rise first. So that's what's happening with all of us, especially the spiritually aligned vessels, is the divine feminine is rising within first, and it's healing the broken masculine, the wounded feminine within the vessel, and bringing those back into full alignment. And then the divine masculine, full aligned divine masculine also will come into the vessel, and you'll be a fully aligned, both divine feminine and divine masculine. But for a little bit, it does feel very, very just divine feminine energy, because that energy is going through the vessel to clear and heal all aspects of the broken masculine and the broken feminine, and the wounded masculine and wounded feminine within, because your fully divine feminine within your vessel is healing, is nurturing, is loving, is mothering. So your mother energy is taking over, and it's healing your body, your mind, and your soul. And like, also then, like, after you heal the divine feminine, and the divine feminine heals the divine masculine also will step in. So for women, you also have that like weird drive, and like, you know what I mean? So it's like you are embodying both energies, and it does feel weird, and it is confusing, but that's what's happening. You're merging, you're aligning. So you may at one point feel all feminine, and it does feel weird, and don't get looped up on those twin flame journeys. They are to awaken and like heal you and stuff, but they're also can get spun out and brainwashed into narcissistic ties and narcissistic loops, where the person that identifies as the divine feminine is stuck waiting for someone to heal when that person is actually harming them, hurting them, betraying them, and stabbing them in the back, etc., etc., etc. The real thing is letting go and realizing you're full within the vessel by yourself. You don't need that divine masculine to complete the divine feminine. If you're feeling as if you're a man and you're represented as the divine feminine in the twin flame dynamic, it's because that's not the twin flame dynamic. That is a dynamic between an empath and a narcissist. So that's also falsely identifying you as a divine feminine. You're the empathetic one. You're the one that came with spiritual enlightenment. You're healing vessel first. So the divine feminine is going to have to come through first to heal the vessel and mother the vessel. And then like that person that you're dealing with is just unhealed. They're just a broken, wounded masculine, wounded feminine vessel that was involved in your life, and you're extremely empathetic. Do you know what I mean? So don't get entangled in like those dynamics either, where that would define you as a divine feminine. It just means you have emotion and compassion, and you're actually balanced out better than most men on the planet. It happens to like alpha men and stuff like that. It's because you had a full sense of masculinity, and your divine feminine is trying to balance out the solidity of your divine masculine and bring it in healed and mothered correctly. So you're going back and you're mothering your inner child. You're going back and you're mothering your, you know, like your tweens, all these years of self, and your mothering self from your divine feminine from within. And then that will reflect without. You'll actually reflect a healed divine feminine woman once you allow that divine feminine within the vessel. You have to allow the divine feminine within the vessel to align and express with your true divine feminine outside the vessel. It's not about someone being like divine masculine, which is actually very wrongly labeled here. Like, they're not runners, they're not turds, nerds, they don't betray, they protect, they love, they They put action to their words. Like, you can trust, you can submit to a divine masculine. A divine feminine can submit to a divine masculine, knowing that that divine masculine is going to literally make decisions for the literal greatest good of that woman. Like, they'd lay down their life for that woman. That's where the trust and the alignment comes from. That's where the submission comes from. But don't get yourself twisted into thinking that you're just a divine feminine energy. You're not. You're both. You are full all by yourself, And clearly, if you have that, like, macho mentality and etc., like, you identify as a man here. So don't let that confuse you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to continue to allow the divine feminine through the vessel, but also allow the divine feminine to touch and heal all aspects of the divine masculine. And then you are going to reflect your divine feminine, which is going to put you in your divine masculine energy. I hope this makes sense. Once all these energies are integrated and they come into balance, you then become like your purest, highest, most authentic self, and you become that walking trigger. Like, you embody truth and you make people uncomfortable. It's bigger than that. It's that you are literally living proof that the reality that people have been living in is not real. You make people think, you make people question, you make people wonder. I mean, you walk into rooms and you make the energy feel uneasy without speaking. Because what you represent. In a world full of lies, you represent the truth. You attract admiration and resentment in equal parts. Because even the ones that look like they resent you are inspired by you. Your energy and your willpower alone, that fight that you have in you alone, defies all odds and everything that anyone thought that they could, that what being a human was all about, You shouldn't be here. Yet here you are, standing in the truth and not faltering, and you're not stopping for anything. You know what I mean? That has to come from somewhere, and they know that. They know that, and they know that your sureness comes from something. They've spent so long of their life just living on these loops of this system that they have never really looked deeper, and now they're forced to look deeper, and they don't like it. But what they're not understanding is what they did to harm you is actually their key to awakening. You're standing before them in truth, and you're not faltering, okay? You're not faltering, and you got hundreds of worlds coming after you, and you're not faltering, and you're not slipping, and you're not going down. And they know that. It's undeniable at this point that you're moving in an energy that's not understood and not felt. Because they can't allow it to be felt, because their ego is so strong and their systematic ways are so tightly strung and woven into the matrix that they're not able to see it, and they don't want to see it now. But you're forcing them to see the truth. You're forcing them back into reality. They're walking around calling you delusional. They're fucking delusional. They're the ones living a fake reality and a fake life. You're calling out all parts of them, all aspects of them, everything that's undeniable to them, and why they're moving the way that they're moving, and yet they just sit there and pretend like you're the problem. You're the problem because you can see past all the lies and all the illusions. And you just have to be okay with it, because these very people that literally brought you to your knees gave you your chance to rise in so much truth. They gave you a testimony and a story that's undeniable. It is undeniable in divinity. You are walking truth of the most high consciousness. You are walking embodiment of truth. Walking authenticity. Like, nothing shakes you, nothing rocks you, nothing changes you. Because you have a power within you that is undeniable. You're standing against the world, and you're standing with pride. You're standing with truth, and you are standing nonetheless, okay? You defy everything. You are the awakening, baby. You are the awakening. There's a reason the Most High picked you, okay? Let people call you crazy, because low-key you are crazy, in a way, in a good way. In a way, it's like no fear, yo, truth, walking crazy, step 2, whatever. You got that thug life in you. I need you guys to embrace that. It's time to merge the jailbird and the worshiper. Where do you thrive? I feel like you thrive in chaos. I feel like you've been born in chaos. I feel like you've been living in chaos since you were popped out. So, like, yeah, we all came into our divinity and we all chilled out a lot, but we also know how to turn it all the way up. Come on now. That's why we came from the dark depths of the earth. Because, I mean, like, really think about it. Like, you weren't just, like, got into dumb stuff and, like, did stupid stuff. Like, you were, like, truly, like, had no fear in anything that you ever did. You're just like, oh, I'll just jump off that bridge over there. It's all good, you know? Like, you are chaos. You are chaos, no fear energy. Okay? We thrive in this. We thrive in this, and no one else is gonna know what to do, and we're gonna be like, yeah, okay? So, like, that's just the way it's gonna be. Everything is about to get turned all the way up, okay? So turn yourself all the way up, you hear me? Boop! Thank you for tuning in, thank you for healing and growing with me, and come back for another podcast episode soon. Peace out, everybody. Love you. Keep hustling, keep pushing, keep rising.